Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my 2-month postpartum update, my 2-month C-section recovery update. If you're brand new here, I had my second son, Theodore, 2 months ago. My first son is 2.5, Hugo. He's currently napping. And he was born vaginally, but it was super traumatic, so we ended up going with a C-section this go around. And if you've watched my birth vlog or some of my other update videos, you'll know that I had a really positive C-section experience, and I've been loving just sharing that experience with you guys and my recovery experience, especially how it relates to the 4th degree tear and rectal tear recovery, because they have been certainly night and day. It's been going well. I had my last postpartum doctor's visit at 6 weeks, and I did film that, but I had my last meeting with my doctor. I can't believe it. Just like the whole thing just went by so quickly. I was 154 at that appointment, so I lost about 20 pounds because when I went into labor with Theodore, I think I was like 176. 178-ish, so a little over 20 pounds I'd lost in the first 6 weeks. And I think now, I don't have a scale, but I think now I'm probably like 150, if not a little bit under that. And my pre-pregnancy weight was like 130, 132. So that's kind of like where I'm aiming to get eventually. I haven't been doing any sort of fitness or working out or anything. I just I've not found the balance for that yet. I'm still like juggling, finding time for myself with a newborn and a toddler, and just like haven't figured out working out. That being said, I am going back to teaching dance 1 day a week in a couple weeks, and I'm really excited about that because that'll definitely be a little bit of physical movement that I think will help just like make me feel a little bit better. But I would say overall I've been feeling really good. I think I've dropped most of the weight from like my torso and arms, and now I just have some weight. When I'm pregnant, I just gain, and like everything sits in my hips, my butt, and my thighs. It's just my body. And so like that's kind of where still a lot of the weight is sitting. But again, I'm not like working out or doing anything about it right now, so that's fine. Let's chat about my C-section scar, and I will show you my body and my scar and stuff a little bit later in the video. But let's chat about my scar right now. It's been healing so incredibly well, like so well. I'm so impressed with the work that my doctor did. It looks great. I didn't have any issues this past month. I haven't had any issues at all. It looks like a little line. It looks, maybe it's like 5.5, 6 inches long. It looks like a little line. Because I've been dropping some of the weight on my stomach, it's looking now less like a fold in my skin and a little bit more just like a line. Really low line, but it's been great. It's been so great. I still have that like weird numb sensation above my incision, and a lot of you said that you have experienced that as well. I'd be interested to know if any of you have had that sensation go away, like a year post-op or 2 years. Does that like numb feeling disappear, or is that just like a new thing in your body? I did mention it to my doctor, and she said that that was totally normal, and like when they do the incision, they're cutting a lot of nerve endings, and it's just going to be a bit of a new feeling for a little while. So yeah, it still has that like bit of a numb feeling. It still feels tender for sure. And I still find that like I'm protecting my abdominal region. Like if my little toddler is running up to give me a hug, I will kind of turn my body slightly so that he's not like going straight on into my incision. But for the most part, it feels really good. And I don't have that pain on my right side anymore. I'd mentioned, I think in my last postpartum update video, that my right side was a little more painful than my left, and right now it feels like sort of the tenderness and the numbness is just all across the incision and not sort of localized in any one spot. So yeah, that's been great. Postpartum, like mental health wise, I've been doing really well. I did have a day a couple days ago that like things just, and so normal, right? Because like every day can't be perfect. I will say that like this go around, we've been so lucky because Theodore has been sleeping so well and has had these like amazing long stretches of sleep, like 7 hours, 6.5, 7 hours, multiple days in a row. Last night he slept for, I think his longest stretch was like 4 hours and 20 minutes. But he's been giving us these like really long stretches of sleep, which I think just is the main contributor to why I've mentally been feeling so good and feel like I can handle everything. So yeah, mentally I've been good. A few days ago, I definitely had a day where, you know, Theodore was crying nonstop, and, you know, it's the bedtime routine that kind of gets me. It's a lot to cook dinner and feed a toddler and want to like bathe them and get them in their pajamas at the same time with a newborn who doesn't want to be put down, and like all of that type of stuff came into a bit of a head the other day. But again, I'm really lucky that for the most part we've sort of found a groove in every day, and because he's been such a great sleeper, it's definitely lightened the load on me a lot. So I'll talk a lot more about his sleep and stuff in his update. I couldn't not mention that because it's such a huge part of like why I feel like I've felt so much better this go around. Also to like how he's sleeping and where he's sleeping has like contributed to, again, why I've been sleeping so well and why I feel good. Breastfeeding is going really well. I'm still using the nipple shields. That is still like part of the routine, and that's been fine. And breastfeeding has been going fine. I might look into getting a breastfeeding breast milk supplement, just because I am going back to teaching and I'm trying to create a bit of a stash. And I'm still using the Haka silicone manual breast pump catcher thing. I'm still using that. Love it. It's great. And that, like, I've been using that to create the stash, and I know that that's not like a breast pump, so it's not going to get like a bunch of ounces out of me, but I just don't have the time during my day to sit down with a breast pump. I wish I had one of those breast pumps that just like sit in your bra and like you can have your hands free and stuff, but I just haven't found the time in my day yet with a toddler and a newborn and like YouTube and everything to be able to sit down next to an outlet and like commit 10 to 15 minutes just pumping. But I've been using the Haka to like create a bit of a stash for myself, and I don't have like a huge supply, to be honest. I usually just produce enough to feed this little guy. I just haven't been able to create as big of a supply as I need, and so I might look into getting a breastfeeding supplement. That being said, I just don't want to like mess with anything right now because I'm producing enough for Theodore and getting a little bit extra with my little manual breast pump that like I don't want things to go haywire. That being said, if you have used a breast milk supplement that you really love or like that really worked for you, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, besides that, I think everything else has been going really well. I haven't noticed any sort of like hair loss or thinning yet. That is definitely coming. I remember that like stage with Hugo postpartum where my hair had like so many little broken pieces in the front and it was really thin. Haven't experienced that yet. Yeah, let's cut to, I will show you my body and how things are looking. Okay, so ignore the mess that is our bedroom right now. I'm still wearing the Ellen Tracy underwear. They are my favorite underwear ever, especially for postpartum recovery because they go up so high. They just suck everything in. It's amazing. So yeah, I still have the line going down my belly, and yeah, my belly button is still dark, not like quite as bad as before. And yeah, this is my body, and I feel like for 2 months out, it's not terrible. I'm still have those pretty dark. I showed you guys, like I did a 6-week postpartum like body video, and I showed these stretch marks here, and still those are still going strong. And yeah, like some of the extra weight, as you can see, is sort of still sitting down toward my hips, but I know eventually that will go away. And then yeah, my scar, like I said, is really low. I don't know if I can actually show it because it's like, oh, she's really low. She's like all the way down there. But like all here still feels really numb, which is just like, it feels weird, you know, like it feels very tender, and it's just a strange sensation. But it's just a strange sensation. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think everything looks good. These pants are like the most unflattering pants ever. But there you go. There's my body. 2 months post baby. We're trying our best. All right, guys, and that's it for my postpartum update. If you have any questions, definitely leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.